Hello, hello, and hello, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit world. Hello, hello. How we doing? Well, thanks for joining. Wanted to start taking a few minutes, maybe every week, and talking a little bit about crypto, kind of giving you guys a little bit of a taste to what's coming and really how you can capitalize on the opportunity. I'm a finance guy. Gowithsteve.com. I'm a finance guy. And so, I'm all about numbers, all about looking at the numbers, see what they look like, see how we can benefit, whether it's investing in real estate, stocks, doesn't really matter. About the last year or so, I kind of been dabbling a little bit in cryptocurrency. And, I ran into a couple of videos, really good videos, and I want to share this one with you. I thought was really good, just a couple of seconds of it, to hear what this guy was saying about this economy and where we're going, being a digital economy and blockchain and Bitcoin and things of that nature. Let me play this for just a couple of seconds.
And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote. We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers
in Silicon Valley.
So what he's talking about is the digital economy, the transition that we are undergoing right now. He talked a lot about the fact that we've got now people working virtually, working from home. Well, this is all part of a transition to a new digital economy, and that's really where blockchain and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all those things really are foundational items in that transition to a digital economy. We have the dollar, right? We are so used to the greenback, the dollar, and that's what we've utilized for the longest. But those of us who have lived through CV19 know that there's some places that transitioned away from taking some paper currency or coin currency for a little while. There were some shortages on currencies. And so, it was all about using our phone, using our cards, right, and things of that nature, whether it be Venmo or Cash App. This is all part of the transition to the digital economy. And all of this will run on the blockchain. It will run on blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain and Bitcoin are kind of synonymous. And so blockchain is a series of encrypted and decrypted transactions that are processed by computers. There are guys that have been out there for quite some time that have been processing Bitcoin transactions on the blockchain, and making, and earning Bitcoin, and they've been doing it since it started in 08, 09, something like that. So the blockchain is a series of decentralized computers that are processing transactions. There's no, third party, if you will, that is the overseer of the blockchain. It's all decentralized out. You've got transactions that occur. There's people that take those transactions, they process them in a high secure fashion, and it all occurs in a blockchain ledger system. So Bitcoin runs on that system, and that's what Bitcoin is about, and why Bitcoin has been kind of the first, if you will, that's kind of really kicked off. So, as you can see right here, this is kind of a status of where the market is today. And if you notice this right here, this is basically a heat map, and it's showing you the dominance in terms of the amount of transactions that are going. Bitcoin's dominance is 62% dominance of the number of transactions, cryptocurrency transactions that are occurring. That was a lot higher. That number is coming down. 62% is coming down quite a bit, right? Bitcoin's dominance. The reason why it's coming down is because you have the emergence of all these other crypto coins that are busting on the scene, and cryptocurrency, crypto coins, and Bitcoin and ledger technology. All this stuff essentially is new technology. It's a lot of programming, a lot of coding. and it's new companies popping up, startup companies popping up. It kind of reminds me of the dot-com boom that we experienced with AOL and Yahoo and CompuServe and Microsoft and Apple, right? It's very similar to that. That's the type of on the scale, if you will, that blockchain and crypto, digital technology is undergoing. Most of the world, at least on the Asian side of things, and some European countries, have already been into the digital space, right? We are behind. We're kind of catching up. But the opportunity is significant if you can get into this space, either working in the space or investing in the space. It's significant because the level of adoption right now into digital or cryptocurrency is very low. It's still very low, extremely low. There's not very many people really that know much about it. And that's why I thought it'd be good to kind of do some tales from the crypto and talk a little bit about cryptocurrencies and the whole digital transition that's occurring, on a weekly basis, if nothing else. But essentially, what you're seeing here is some significant opportunities to really jump in on early tech. This distributed ledger technology, this decentralized technology that they call blockchain, which Bitcoin runs on and operates under. There is no overseer or big boss for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a series of people out there across the world that are mining, processing transactions, checking up on one another to make sure that the transactions are fair and honest. And it's also a payment system. So, but everything else you see on this heat map represents the new emergence and the new growth in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space. All these red and green boxes you see here are tokens. They're cryptocurrencies, which they often refer to them as tokens. And they all of these represent cryptocurrencies, and some are growing bigger than others. In this case, you see the big box. Well, a lot of this is based on the size and volume of transactions that are occurring on these cryptocurrencies. But it's something we certainly should be aware of, should be familiar with, understanding cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. I brought this up to show you, this is a snapshot of where the market is today. You can see Bitcoin is trading for $48,000. If you go back and we look in some historical, just to give you some significance of, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency market, if we go back and we look at about a year, not even a year ago, if you look at a year ago, my chart's moving a little slow with loading, so bear with me for a second. But the Bitcoin market, if you will, was, you're talking about the low. It was as low, there you go. If we go a year ago and you look at the price of Bitcoin, back in May, not even a year ago, back in May, it was $8,000 for Bitcoin. In March, it was $5,000 for Bitcoin. It cost $5,000 for one Bitcoin back in March of 2020 when COVID kicked off. Bitcoin now costs $48,000 for one Bitcoin. Now, the great thing is that you don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. You can buy a portion. They call them Satoshis. So you don't have to buy one. You can buy portions or particles, or you can take $100 and say, I'm going to put it into Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin goes up or goes down, you either lose or you gain, in your investment in Bitcoin. Same thing with any of these tokens, right? Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can, Cardano, you can buy cryptocurrency in portions, right? If you only have $100, $200, whatever, you can buy some Bitcoin. Okay, you can do it on PayPal, you can do it on Robinhood, you can do it on. There's more and more platforms that are starting to adopt the purchase of cryptocurrency. This is a growing thing, guys. This is a growing thing. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And you heard the gentleman on the video say, we're not going back. We are not going back to the old economy. This is a new economy. It's a digital economy and a transition to a digital economy. So Coin360 is a great visual heat map that shows you all of the different currencies, the bigger ones, the pricing, and so on and so forth. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is the opportunity to buy one of these coins, and then you could store these coins on a particular exchange, or you can store them and stake them. Basically, it means deposit it in a place to store it. Depending on where you store it, you can potentially earn some money off of storing it, choosing to store it in a certain place, right? So, for example, I think I talked a little bit about Celsius Network. I could buy Bitcoin, a portion of Bitcoin, or $200 or $100 worth of Bitcoin. And when I buy that, I can choose to store that on Celsius Network, right? So Celsius Network will pay me interest. And I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see this. But Celsius Network will pay me interest for buying and storing of my cryptocurrencies, right? Passive income, okay? They will pay me interest. So you can see here, for example, they're going to pay me anywhere between 4.74 and 6.2% interest if I buy Bitcoin and I store it on Celsius's network. There's some other coins that are out there that they're paying up to 16% or 18% interest just for buying them and storing them onto the Celsius network. You got USDC, which is basically just a dollar. It's just a stable coin, if you will. It doesn't fluctuate up or down much. You can see this right here, USDT, which is Tether. It's a very similar coin to USDC. It doesn't fluctuate really up or down. It's just a unit of measure, and you can trade against that particular unit of measure. But you can see that if you have USDC or USDT and you store it on Celsius, they're going to pay you up to 12.5% interest. Ridiculous, sick, right? Crazy stuff. This is interest that you earn in the coin that you decide to deposit into Celsius if you're going to use Celsius as the place to store your crypto. You can look at some of these numbers, right? Some of the numbers that Celsius puts out, how many tokens were purchased, what the value of those were, 2.7 million, how many Celsius tokens were purchased, what's the US value of that. And then they go in here and they give you some visuals. Oh, this is great. It gives you some visuals on, how much money they've paid out. So they pay interest for allowing you to store your coins on their network, if you will. So this is one way you can make money in this space, right? You could buy, if you're just conservative and say, I don't want it to go up and down. Well, that's what USDC or USDT Tether would be. Those are ones that are not, you don't have to worry about the fluctuation of up and down in the price. Oh, Bitcoin's down 10% today. Oh, I can't take it. My nerves can't handle it. Okay, we'll buy USDT or buy USDC. Those are stable coins. They don't go up and down. Basically, you can buy them, and then you can find a platform to store them, and they'll pay you interest every week, 12%, 12.5%, 13%, if you will. So that's Celsius Network, and there are some links in the description to some of the things that I'm showing you today. What is Celsius Network? It's a cryptocurrency interest-bearing account, and this is a great article that you can kind of read up on what Celsius Network is, what they do. But I showed you some real numbers. This is actually an email that I just got this week from Celsius showing what they're currently paying for storing cryptocurrency on their network. So if I bought Bitcoin, I'd get 6.2% somewhere in that arena and interest paid out every week. And what happens is they're going to pay me an interest in the same coin. So I'm storing my Bitcoin, and they're paying me interest in Bitcoin. So my Bitcoin portfolio is going to continue to grow. The same thing happens with USDC, Link, Ethereum, any of these cryptocurrency coins. If you store them on Celsius Network, they're going to pay you the interest out every week in the cryptocurrency that you actually own. So that's what Celsius Network is. Some of you may or may not have seen a post that I put out there of a crypto.com card. So crypto.com is another place where you can store your cryptocurrency. And crypto.com has actually a card. They have a debit card, so you can plug this directly in to where you can deposit, buy Bitcoin, for example, or buy a particular currency. And then you can get a card, a debit card, right, which works the same way as any other debit card. And as you need to, you need to spend money, whatever, you can just transfer your Bitcoin over into your debit card account. And some of these give you 5% cash back. Some of these give you free Netflix, certain services, airport access, lounge and things of that nature. Here's, you can kind of see, depending on the type of card that you've got with them. And this is just a debit card, guys. So again, you could buy Bitcoin, you could buy a particular cryptocurrency. You can store it on Celsius and make money, or you can store it on crypto.com. And on the crypto.com, they've got a debit card. And so while your Bitcoin is either, growing or going down, either way, right? The market's always up or down. But as it's going up, your essentially your crypto bank account access will be going up. And so as you need money, you can just move that money over onto your debit card, which is your crypto.com card. And you can use it as you need it. But this is a way to go bankless, right? I mean, think about it. Let's just be realistic here. If you walked into your bank today and you said, hey, I want to deposit $150, how much are they going to pay you interest? How much are they going to pay you interest? Most banks are going to pay you 0.0001, 0.0002, 0.01. You're not getting much interest on your money sitting in a bank, right? So think about the guys like Mark Cuban, like Elon Musk. Think about those guys who have decided, hey, listen, we're going to take some of our extra cash sitting around, and we're going to invest it in Bitcoin. And we know, there's only a limited supply of Bitcoin. So there's only will ever only be 21 million Bitcoin, only 21 million. So it's already going to be a high storage unit of value. But remember what I said about Bitcoin, guys, and there's other cryptocurrencies. I'm just using this as an example because everyone is familiar with Bitcoin. Bitcoin in March 15th of 2020 was $5,271 for one Bitcoin. Again, you don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. It was $5,000. It almost 10x'd. It almost went. In fact, if you would have looked a day ago, it multiplied by 10 in growth. It's now at 47,000, down 10% today. But it was only $5,000. So you got some companies like Tesla just put in $1 billion and has already made $1 billion. Now that's probably down a little bit. But he's already made about $1 billion on his investment, on the Tesla investment. So keep that in mind. There's ways that you can invest your money if you start getting in and doing some research, and look at the opportunities that are out there beyond just the traditional savings account. One option out there is to look at some different cryptocurrencies, do some research. Celsius Network is a pretty safe one. Coinbase, who I suggested as a place to buy cryptocurrency, is a safe one. Those are all highly regulated, U.S. based and U.S. regulated companies. But there's not a big catch. The only catch is really taking some time to do some research, getting signed up, and seeking to understand what cryptocurrency is, what the digital in the blockchain and distributed ledgers, understanding what it is and simplifying it. Right now, for the simplest of terms, if you wanted to make some money, your money sitting in the bank, there's a good chance the last couple of days you'd have lost 10% because Bitcoin was down 10%. But if you look over the course of time, if you'd have put about $1,000 in Bitcoin when it was $5,800, you'd have times 10 right now, and you'd have times 10 in your portfolio. So not a financial planner, not providing any advice, just educating you along the journey, just educating you along my journey. I'm documenting my journey, and I'm educating you, and at least giving you some ideas and some things to consider from an investment standpoint. Think about the people that invested early in the .com space. Think about them. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money. So I'm not going to take too much more time up today. I wanted to kind of show you and share with you all a little bit about what cryptocurrency is, Bitcoin, and I really wanted to give you a sense and have you take a look at and understand what Bitcoin has done, what it has done. Bitcoin has grown exponentially over the last not even 12 months, right? Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all. and it's where a lot of companies are storing their value. They're storing their cash. But take a look at this chart. This chart gives you a good sense of where things are. In the last 3 months, Bitcoin has taken, an astronomical jump, even from 18,000 up to 50 some thousand. It topped out at 57, 58,000. Almost hit 60. Today it's around 47,000. So it's a little bit of a correction. That's going to happen. But if I just buy some Bitcoin and I decide I want to store that Bitcoin on some place like Celsius Network, I'm going to be earning 4 to 6.2% of my money. And if I put it in crypto.com, I'm going to be earning some interest as well on that. And as I'm earning interest, if I need access to some of that money that's in that savings account that's yielding me a lot more money than what my savings account is, I can use my crypto.com card, which is a debit card, pay bills, go to the restaurant, go to the movies, do whatever I need to, pull it right out of my Bitcoin investment. So just wanted to share that with you. There'll be more Tales from the Crypto coming in the future. If you got questions, let me know. Please take a moment to like this video, share it on your timeline, share it with someone who's got some interest and some thoughts about cryptocurrency. Certainly here to be able to answer any questions we've got out there. We're going to get into, at some point in time, we're going to get into and talk about this guy right here. This guy is XRP. XRP is probably the how would I describe XRP? So when there's Bitcoin and then there's XRP. When you start learning about cryptocurrency, you will learn that this guy right here, Ripple XRP, has a huge following, cult-like following, because it operates on a lightning fast blockchain technology that they have built, and it takes about 3 seconds to send money on XRP, on Ripple. 3 seconds. Bitcoin, a lot longer. Ethereum, a lot longer. But Ripple is building, or has built out, one of the fastest. Stellar Lumen's another one that's out there. But XRP is one we'll talk about, and then we will slide into Flare. And Flare is a coin for those of us who had XRP. In December, we are going to be getting what's called a free airdrop of free Flare coins. And I missed an opportunity to jump in on that at 30 cents today. Darn it. But anyway, Flare is going to be a huge moneymaker for those people who are participating, who have participated in the airdrop. And even if they don't, Flare is going to be a huge moneymaker. So we'll talk a little bit about XRP in future Tales from the Crypto. And we will get back into talking more about Celsius and the money that can be made by just storing your cryptocurrency on Celsius or crypto.com. But then we're also going to talk some about Flare. Flare is a huge opportunity. There is so much passive income that will be coming off of having that particular cryptocurrency when the mainnet launches later, I think in June of this year. We're going to talk about Flare, guys. Flare is going to be huge. So anyway, got questions, let me know. Like, share, put this on your timelines, get this out there. I'll produce a YouTube video as well. Tales from the Crypto from Steve. Go with Steve. GoWithSteve.com is how you can reach me. GoWithSteve.com. If you need to get a hold of me, you can reach me at GoWithSteve.com. Thanks so much. Let me know what questions I can answer for you guys. Hit me with a DM, call me, or GoWithSteve.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.